Your dog licks your feet. Cute, right? But what if your dog is actually asking for help? And when your dog stretches in front of you, slow, deep, almost like a bow, or gently places its paw in your hand, it feels sweet, but that's your dog speaking in their own language, a language you've been ignoring without even realizing it. Today, I'm exposing weird dog behaviors that almost every owner completely misunderstands. Number 1. The phantom chaser. Your dog is sprinting around the house chasing absolutely nothing. No toys, no other pets, just running in circles like they've lost their mind. Most owners think it's the zoomies, but there's something way deeper happening here. Dogs don't just randomly burn energy. When they chase nothing, they're actually releasing pent-up anxiety or frustration that's been building all day. Think about it. Wolves run for miles hunting and exploring. Your dog walked around the block for 15 minutes. That's not enough. A study from the University of Bristol tracked 3,000 dogs and found that dogs who get less than 60 minutes of exercise daily are 80% more likely to develop destructive behaviors. The phantom chasing isn't cute, it's your dog's brain screaming for more stimulation. But chasing nothing is just the beginning. What about when your dog follows you everywhere, even to places you'd rather be alone? This next behavior might seem sweet, but it's hiding a serious problem. The shadow follower extreme edition. Your dog doesn't just follow you room to room. They follow you to the bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, everywhere. They cannot stand being separated from you even for 30 seconds. You think it's love, and partly it is. But this extreme following often signals separation anxiety that will get worse. Dogs with healthy attachment can be alone briefly without stress. Dogs with problematic attachment panic when you're out of sight. The difference is in their body language. Healthy followers are calm and relaxed. Anxious followers are tense, panting, and visibly stressed when you move. Veterinary behaviorists warn that extreme following is the first stage of separation anxiety that can escalate to destructive behavior, self-harm, or aggression. The solution isn't pushing them away, it's gradually building their confidence through independence training exercises. Speaking of ways your dog tries to communicate with you, there's one gesture that looks simple, but actually has 3 completely different meanings, depending on the situation. Watch for this. The paw giver. Your dog lifts their paw and gently places it on your leg. Most people think it means they want attention or food. Sometimes that's true. But this gesture has multiple meanings, depending on context. When combined with direct eye contact and a relaxed face, it means affection and a desire for connection. When combined with nervous energy and looking away, it signals anxiety and a need for reassurance. When done repeatedly with whining, it indicates a specific need like going outside or feeling pain. Dogs learned this behavior from wolves, who use paw touches to communicate hierarchy and emotional needs within the pack. By reading the accompanying body language, you can understand exactly what your dog needs in that moment. Now, if you think that behavior is confusing, wait until you see what your dog is really doing when they suddenly start eating grass like a cow. The truth will completely flip what you believe. The grass eater. Your dog suddenly starts chomping on grass like it's a salad bar. You panic, thinking they're sick. But here's the truth that will shock you. Dogs aren't eating grass because they're sick. They eat grass to prevent getting sick. While canines consume entire prey animals, including stomach contents full of plant matter, your dog's digestive system actually craves that roughage. A study from UC Davis found that 79% of dogs eat grass regularly, and only 9% showed signs of illness beforehand. The grass acts like a natural fiber supplement, helping with digestion, and even clearing out minor stomach irritation. Unless your dog is vomiting excessively, grass eating is completely normal and actually beneficial for their gut health. But here's something even more mind-blowing. That adorable head tilt your dog does? Scientists just discovered it's actually a sign of genius-level intelligence. Let me explain. The head tilter. You talk to your dog, and suddenly they tilt their head to the side, like they're trying to understand quantum physics. It's adorable, but the reason behind it is actually genius-level intelligence. Dogs tilt their heads to hear you better and see your face more clearly. Their muzzle blocks part of their view of your mouth, and they've learned that watching your mouth helps them understand you. But here's the incredible part. A study from Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary found that only the smartest dogs tilt their heads consistently. They tested 40 dogs, and the ones who could learn toy names faster were the most frequent head tilters. Your dog isn't just being cute. They're actively trying to decode your language. Okay, so head tilting means intelligence. But what about when your dog spins in circles chasing their own tail? That seems harmless and funny, right? Wrong. This could be a medical emergency. The tail chaser. Your dog starts spinning in circles, trying to catch their own tail. It looks hilarious. But if it happens frequently, something serious might be going on. Occasional tail chasing is playful and normal, but obsessive tail chasing can signal underlying issues ranging from boredom to actual medical problems. Veterinarians at Tufts University discovered that some dogs chase their tails due to a condition similar to OCD in humans. The key difference is frequency and intensity. If your dog chases their tail once a week for 30 seconds, that's play. If they're doing it multiple times daily and seem frantic, that's a red flag requiring a vet visit immediately. And speaking of your dog's rear end, there's another behavior that's absolutely disgusting to watch, but is actually your dog's way of screaming for help. Don't ignore this one, the butt dragger. Your dog suddenly sits down and drags their butt across your carpet. Embarrassing when guests are over, right? But this behavior, called scooting, is your dog's desperate attempt to tell you something is wrong. The most common cause is impacted anal glands. Dogs have two small glands near their rectum that normally empty during bowel movements. When these get blocked, the pressure is incredibly uncomfortable. Your dog isn't being gross. They're trying to relieve pain. Other causes include allergies, parasites, or even tumors. A study from the American Kennel Club found that 12% of all vet visits involve anal gland issues. If your dog scoots more than once, don't ignore it. A quick vet visit can solve the problem and prevent serious infections. Now let's talk about something beautiful. You know when you yawn and your dog yawns right after? That's not a coincidence, and the science behind it will make you cry. The yawn responder. You yawn, then your dog yawns. Coincidence? Absolutely not. This is one of the most beautiful proofs of the bond between humans and dogs. Contagious yawning only happens between individuals who share empathy. A groundbreaking study from the University of Tokyo found that dogs catch yawns from their owners 72% of the time, but only 33% from strangers. Even more amazing, dogs don't catch yawns from other dogs at the same rate they catch them from humans. This means your dog is emotionally tuned into you at a level that goes beyond basic training. When your dog yawns after you, their brain is literally mirroring your emotional state. It's involuntary empathy in action, proof that your dog genuinely feels what you feel. The blanket digger. Your dog frantically digs at their blanket or your couch before lying down. They scratch and circle and scratch some more. This looks destructive, but it's another ancient survival instinct. Wild dogs dug shallow holes in dirt to create cooler spots in summer and warmer nests in winter. They'd also dig to expose softer ground underneath rough surfaces. His ancestors would spend several minutes preparing the perfect sleeping spot for safety and comfort. Your dog is doing the same thing, even though your couch doesn't need digging. Some dogs also dig to mark their sleeping area with scent from glands in their paws. It's a way of saying, "This spot is mine." Unless they're damaging furniture, this behavior is completely natural and harmless. All right, this next one is huge. You've been reading your dog's emotions completely wrong. That guilty look when they destroy something, it's not what you think, and understanding this will change everything. The guilty look. You come home to destroyed pillows everywhere. Your dog looks at you with those sad, guilty eyes. Head down, ears back, avoiding eye contact. They know they did wrong, right? Actually, no. Your dog has no idea they did anything wrong. That guilty look isn't guilt, it's fear of your reaction. Dogs don't have the cognitive ability to feel moral guilt like humans do. What looks like shame is actually your dog responding to your body language and tone. A famous study from Barnard College proved this. Researchers had owners scold dogs who had done nothing wrong. The dogs showed the exact same, guilty expression. Your dog isn't sorry for destroying the pillow. They're reacting to your anger and trying to appease you using submissive body language to avoid conflict. Okay, from guilt to something way more awkward. Let's talk about why your dog humps everything in sight, because it's probably not what you're thinking. The leg humper. Your dog humps your leg, the couch, other dogs, or even the air. Everyone laughs or gets embarrassed, but this behavior is massively misunderstood. Most people think it's sexual, but in 90% of cases, it's not. Dogs hump for 3 main reasons: overexcitement, stress relief, and attention seeking. When your dog gets overstimulated during play, humping is their way of releasing that excess energy. It's the same neurological mechanism as when humans tap their feet or fidget when nervous. Animal behaviorist Dr. Alexandra Horowitz found that neutered dogs hump just as frequently as intact dogs, proving it's rarely about reproduction. The problem is when humping becomes compulsive or socially inappropriate. If your dog humps obsessively, they need more mental stimulation, physical exercise, or help managing anxiety. Punishment makes it worse because it adds more stress. From embarrassing to adorable, if your dog collects all their toys in one spot, they're not being messy. They're actually showing signs of high intelligence. Here's why. The toy hoarder. Your dog gathers all their toys in one spot, or brings every single toy to you one by one, or hides toys around the house in specific locations. This looks like obsessive behavior, but it's actually sophisticated resource management. Dogs are descended from animals who had to hunt, store, and protect food to survive. Even though your dog gets meals regularly, that instinct to gather and guard resources remains hardwired. Female dogs, especially those who've had puppies, show this behavior more because of maternal instincts. They're treating toys like puppies that need to be kept safe. A study from the University of Vienna found that dogs who hoard toys score higher on problem-solving tests. Your dog is demonstrating organizational skills and future planning, cognitive abilities once thought unique to humans. Now, if toy hoarding seems weird, wait until you see what happens after bath time. Your dog literally goes insane, and there's a scientific reason behind the chaos. The post-bath psycho. The second you finish bathing your dog, they go absolutely insane. Running at full speed, rubbing against furniture, rolling on the carpet, acting possessed. This post-bath craziness has a name: FRAPS, which stands for frenetic random activity periods. But why specifically after baths? 3 reasons. First, they're relieved the stressful bath is over and they're releasing that tension. Second, They're trying to dry off and rub your shampoo scent off them because they want to smell like themselves again. Third, the sensation of being wet triggers a primal instinct to shake and move vigorously to prevent hypothermia. While canines can't afford to stay wet, it's dangerous. Your warm house doesn't have that danger, but your dog's instincts don't know that. Let them run it out safely. It's actually healthy stress relief. From crazy energy to calm mornings. That yoga pose your dog does every morning, it's not just stretching. It's actually a secret health diagnostic tool. The morning stretcher. Your dog wakes up and immediately does a full-body stretch, front legs extended, butt in the air, looking like they're doing yoga. You think it's just a cute wake-up routine, but this stretch is actually critical for your dog's health. Dogs stretch to increase blood flow to their muscles after hours of being still during sleep. But here's what most owners miss. The way your dog stretches can reveal hidden pain or injuries. If they avoid stretching one leg or yelp during the stretch, something is wrong. Veterinary physiotherapists at Colorado State University found that dogs who stop doing their morning stretch often have developing arthritis or joint issues. That downward dog position also stretches their spine and stimulates their digestive system. It's not just a stretch, it's a full-body health check your dog performs naturally every single morning. Health checks are important, but what about emotional health? If your dog steals your socks specifically, they're telling you something deeply emotional. This one will hit you right in the heart. The sock stealer. Your dog steals your socks constantly, not other family members' socks, specifically yours. You find them under the couch, in their bed, buried in the backyard. This isn't random theft. It's a deep emotional need. Your socks carry the strongest concentration of your scent because your feet have more sweat glands than anywhere else on your body. When you leave, your dog takes your socks because having your scent nearby reduces their anxiety. It's literally a comfort object, like a child's security blanket. A study from the University of Florida found that 67% of dogs who steal clothing items show mild separation anxiety. The sock stealing is their coping mechanism. Instead of punishing this, leave an old sock or t-shirt in their bed. Give them permission to have your scent when you're gone, and that anxiety shows up in another way too. When someone comes home and your dog goes absolutely ballistic, that's not just excitement. There's actually hidden stress happening. The aggressive greeting. Someone comes home and your dog goes ballistic, jumping, barking, spinning, crying, acting like this person has been gone for years when it's only been 2 hours. You think it's overwhelming love, and it is, but it's also stress. Dogs don't have a good concept of time duration. Whether you're gone for 10 minutes or 10 hours, their brain doesn't differentiate much. What they know is that you disappeared from the pack, and disappearance means potential danger or death. When you return, they're not just happy, they're relieved. That aggressive greeting is actually anxiety release. A study from the University of Bristol measured cortisol levels in dogs before and after owner reunions. Dogs who greet aggressively have higher stress hormones. The calmer your dog's greeting, the more secure they actually feel about your return. From emotional behavior to something that drives owners crazy. Why does your dog push their food bowl all over the floor? It's not defiance. It's survival instinct kicking in. The food bowl mover. Your dog pushes their food bowl around with their nose while eating. They shove it across the floor, corner it against a wall, or flip it completely. This drives owners crazy, but your dog is following ancient feeding instincts. In the wild, dogs and wolves would move their food to a safer, more secluded location before eating to avoid competition or theft from other animals. Your kitchen doesn't have competing predators, but your dog's DNA doesn't know that. The bowl moving is an attempt to secure their meal. Some dogs also move their bowl because the surface is too slippery and the bowl slides when they eat, frustrating them. Others do it because they prefer eating from a stationary bowl and are trying to wedge it against something stable. Try using a non-slip mat or a heavier bowl to satisfy their need for stability. Survival instincts are powerful, but what about when your dog just straight up ignores you? You call their name, they look at you, then just walk away. Are they being disrespectful? The answer is fascinating. The selective hearing. You call your dog's name. They look right at you. You give a command. They ignore you completely and go back to whatever they were doing. You think they're being defiant, but the truth is more complicated. Dogs absolutely hear you. Their hearing is 4 times better than yours. What's happening is a choice based on motivation and past experience. If your dog has learned that ignoring commands sometimes works without consequences, they'll keep testing it. Additionally, dogs evaluate whether obeying is worth it in that moment. If they're sniffing something interesting and you're calling them for no reason, their brain decides the sniff is more valuable. This isn't disrespect, it's cost-benefit analysis. The solution is making yourself more interesting and rewarding than whatever is distracting them. High-value treats and consistent consequences create better responses. But sometimes your dog is listening, and they're trying to tell you something important. When they lick their lips out of nowhere, most owners miss this critical warning sign. The lip licker. You're talking to your dog or petting them, and suddenly they start licking their lips repeatedly. There's no food around. Their mouth isn't dry. So why the constant lip licking? This is one of the most misunderstood dog stress signals. Lip licking is a calming signal dogs use when they're feeling uncomfortable, anxious, or trying to diffuse tension. It's their way of saying, "I'm not a threat, please stay calm." Dogs lick their lips when they're overwhelmed by affection, when strangers approach too quickly, or when they're being scolded. It's basically a white flag. If your dog licks their lips while you're petting them, they might actually be tolerating the affection rather than enjoying it. Canine body language experts warn that ignoring lip licking can lead to dogs escalating to growling or snapping because their polite stress signal was missed. And finally, let's end with the most common daily behavior that almost no one understands correctly. Every single day, your dog licks your feet the moment you wake up. You think it's love, but it's actually 3 things happening at once. The foot licker. Your dog obsessively licks your feet the moment you sit down or take off your shoes. It's gross, but you let it happen because it seems harmless. Here's what most owners don't know. Your feet contain the highest concentration of sweat and pheromones on your entire body. To your dog, licking your feet is like reading a detailed newspaper about where you've been, who you've met, and what you've stepped in. But there's a darker side. If your dog licks your feet frantically and compulsively, they're experiencing severe anxiety or stress. It's a self-soothing behavior that can escalate into obsessive-compulsive disorder. Normal foot licking is a few licks and done. Obsessive licking means your dog needs help managing their mental state before it becomes a serious health issue. So there you have it. 20 behaviors your dog does every single day that you've been completely misunderstanding. If you found even one of these shocking, hit that like button right now. And if you want to become the kind of owner who truly understands their dog, subscribe because we're diving even deeper into dog psychology in the next video. Drop a comment telling me which behavior surprised you the most. I'll see you in the next one.